Alrighty. So, I wanted to talk about something that usually makes people angry. Usually. You see, okay. You know what lolly porn is? It's porn that is a cartoon or anime of petite women shapes or underage children shapes. Now, I got into this debate with myself a little earlier. It's like, alright, petite women. You need to have breasts, you need to have bazonga ass, and you need to be this and you need that, and that's the only way a woman looks. And you gotta have fucking labia. You gotta have the pubes and everything. Otherwise, you're not a woman. See all the anger right there? Like, I'm a woman. That's not what defines a woman. Whoa! Shocker! Of the same agreement with you. It's not. But you're a weird man or woman that likes that kind of looking woman. You're a pedophile now. You're creepy. You're weird. God damn it. I said God damn it because it's like, that's how I imagine someone would genuinely say that. That's how I imagine that they would be like, fuck you. No, that's not what we're... And it's like, okay, I put up a hope and change poster under the styling of Obama, but now it's Cerberus the dog being chained up by Jesus. How many people do you think are going to be annoyed by that? This is wrong, this is obscene. The law should be such that you cannot use the Lord's image in vain. You can't do that. That is illegal as fuck. We should outlaw this right the fuck now. This is bad. Then I got off that because I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to be real with you. A person likes something that you don't like and you want to make it illegal. This is what this boils into. Like, whoa, boom, getting right to the elephant in the room. Like, fucking breach charge, bitch! Woo! Alright, I'm here. This is the real heart of the problem. You don't like something and somebody's masturbating to it and you want that to be illegal. Someone's thinking about you and they're not telling that to you and they're going to wink one out or rub one out or whatever it is. And you want to be making that illegal is effectively what that looks like to me. Like, not all porn is made with consent. I mean, we're talking about a fantasy cartoon drawing. What's this consent? I need to thought police someone. You're thinking about something I don't like, and it's bad and illegal and wrong. The obscenity laws need to be in here. We need to make this obscene. It is an illegal activity. It should be illegal now to view this. And I'm like, okay, wait, hang on here. How many news stations have sent out illegal crimes that you got to watch? And then now you're watching that, and so you're doing an illegal thing. You're watching an illegal activity. Also, obscene. Well, okay, wait. I said cunt. That's obscene, go to jail. It is, isn't it? But you see, actually, about the 1800s, that would have put me in jail. You know, it was illegal for women to show ankle. You would have gone to jail if you did that. And it's like, so what you're saying to me is I'm progressive and you're wrong and basically an old person because you feel like this with the culture and current zeitgeist of the time that society is living in. Because eventually they will, shocker, change their minds to be more open and accepting of sexual shit. Debate. Because it's like every time I look at the statistical analysis of how somebody had more problems with trauma and anxiety and everything else, I'm like, okay, did we look in the culture and society zeitgeist of what if that was a good thing or not, and how people would view them and treat them if like they had sex or if they were like anything and that was consensual, like they wanted that and then like they found out about it and it was bad, man or woman, for like the age range, just depending on who's what, and the resulting fallout of what would cause people to act like. Did we? It's not in there. It's not. Why? Why is it not in there? Because that seems like it would drastically affect the results. I got into a debate earlier with myself about statistical analysis because I'm like, I did a great metaphor. I'm going to do it again. Okay, at least I feel it is. Your opinions are what you have in that head of yours. Anyways, I am a statistical analysis master. These are incredibly important. I have left out these things and this is... And then I was like, okay, so you're telling me is like that black individual fucked you up and you have problems with all blacks now? Yes, no, I am a person that is also of the same racist opinion and all blacks are like that. No, that was one particular individual. I'm like, then they were like, no, that doesn't make, that's not at all what we're talking about with statistical analysis. I'm like, if you didn't realize, it is basically. I have, with this small group, in very specified certain circumstances, have resulted in all of the things being that. With my statistical analysis prowess of imagination meganess or whatever, it's like, right? But it's like, these are real things I've looked up. And if you look them up, you can find them too. So but that's the problem I have with statistical analysis, okay? Like, statistical analysis is like, you can make the numbers get altered with finding out the right level of people. And that doesn't even get into, like, people can lie. Cultures, societies have different opinions, and depending on where you go, it's more normal and okay to, if you're in America, you are suddenly so traumatized. You go overseas, it's like, well, actually, that was pretty normal. I didn't have any problems, and I grew up fine. Like, honestly, yeah, I didn't get traumatized, and I have a normal relationship and all that, so I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And that's a genuine thing I've seen pretty consistently. It is, and so and then it's like that alters like what the reactions of the crowd around you are going to be, and so then I was like, oh right, and then survey data is practically like one scene, especially online. It's like, oh, I can alter my IP address to look like it's coming from multiple IP addresses and just bombard your data with a bunch of shit. Because I'm a troll or something, people are fucking assholes. So they'll do it. If they have certain results, if there's like money involved, like they can just make that a thing in your statistical analysis. Lies are a big deal. And so if you're not like watching every IP address and making sure for sure it's all unique IP addresses and it wasn't routed and it wasn't altered to make it seem like it was multiple people, like you have a problem. And even then, there's still the problem of they might have lied and just been one person. It could have been a group of people that decided to lie together. You don't know. So those survey datas are practically fucking worthless in terms of statistical analysis. But they make them look like it's like, no, this is a thing. This is for sure a big deal and you need to pay attention to it. And I'm like, but it's not. It's basically like correlation of data that can be manipulated incredibly easily to fucking get any result you want out of it. And then I was like, wait a second, where do I see this in the amount of trauma incidences of, and they're like not including people that definitely didn't have like a good experience, and even then it's like, right, how truthful are they? How, like, like there's a lot there that you need to look into, and of that, the culture and societal norms of what's okay and not okay, and how, the people affected that result is a big deal. And what you can be allowed to say was a positive or negative for a given study. And then you realize it needs to be going over a longitudinal 5, 10, 15, 20-year study with encompassing socioeconomical factors, DNA factors. Like, there's a lot of factors that you have to put into it before you get useful, not clickbaity title data from it that is actually worth something. Because it's like, it's gaslighting. You're gaslighting us and our data. And I'm like, no. No, I'm not, though. That's genuinely how you make data worth data. Like, let's put it this way. I see an apple fall to the ground. That's gravity. That's a law. That's physics law. All right? Now I'm going to give you one better. Quantum physics is effectively an extrapolation of statistical analysis of results happening over orders of magnitude, hundreds of millions, if not billions, sometimes even trillions of times. It's consistently, viably, always happening. But not always. Sometimes there's a little bit there that isn't quite happening exactly the same. That's quantum physics. That's statistical analysis you can take to the bank to a certain amount, because there's even worse problems in there in terms of, hey, well, why did this happen? I mean, there's got to be energy involved that made it so that way that did that thing, like that interacted somehow, and then they're like, yeah, but we don't know what it is. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we're trying to learn that. Well, we use mostly a Feynman's diagram, and it's kind of like, hydrogen goes together with oxygen because of these interactions with electrons and stuff, bonds, right, and pairing, right? Well, that's basically what we do with our diagram that has this particle interact with this particle, and it causes this, release of whatever, which is a conversion rate of like thermodynamics, and then there's a field thingy, and then there's like, this resulting particle that comes out, and you get that, and that's the statistical probability of what's going on there. And so, like, that is useful data, but like they don't have everything put together on it, and it's kind of hard to find them, interact with them, and control them, or even be able to prove conclusively currently right now, even with that trillions of data points, that it is exactingly that. You see, that's the standard model we're dealing with. And you're trying to give me I threw a ball over there, and it seemed to result in it being disappeared because some dude fucking ran away with it. And like, that means all balls disappear. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You didn't add the guy that fucking stole your goddamn ball. Like, that's a big part of the statistical analysis here. And you only did like one? That's just 1, 2, 3 times? That's it? That's it? That's it? I'm sorry, but your data's garbage. They always get annoyed, but it's like, no, that's not... It's garbage data. You're not adding the right variables that are there. Like, you need to account for that. If it's not there, then you're basically like showing someone something that's irrelevant as fuck. It's really genuinely worthless. It's like, you know that this happened, but you don't know anything that was like in the environmental factors or any, like, at least quantum physics acknowledges this shit. I'm getting animated because I'm like, you're trying to tell me I'm gaslighting you? that data is garbage. You don't know how to read studies. You're trying to pass off a study that's like correlating something to mean something when it's not. And they're setting up variables with certain specified groups that are not the entirety or representative of all of them. You have bad variables being input, bad environmental, noise variability. Like you're basically telling me a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter. Statistically, it just doesn't. And that's why I'm like, yeah, no, those studies are kind of irrelevant to what we're talking about. That's why I just get rid of them, because I'm like, oh, that will be great for the where's your source? Where's this? Where's that? I need you to give me all of this stuff. Like, I need you to hold on to every single study you've ever looked at everywhere. And you know what? Also on top of that, I'm like, let me poke holes into your studies. Let me just do this real quick. I'm basically just teaching you how to read your studies. If you didn't know, that's basically what that is. That I had to learn too, so that way I could be more informed on what it was I was thinking about and looking at. Which is standard common practice for scientists in the field, because that's a thing that they do, and you can do it too. Shocker. And it's like, that's a garbage study. No, it's not. And like, you're defensive because I'm challenging your current setup of what you believe, what your identity is tied to for your group and tribe. And then on top of this, I'm also challenging your defense of your bad family tribe. And you're angry and you're going to be defensive like that. And so, like, you're going to get angry, you're going to scream and yell, you're not going to make good choices. That's normal. Psychologically, you're very normal. You're not special. You're doing the same thing as the rest of the entire herd out there is statistically doing. I use the word herd because, first off, it's applicable. You listen to scientists, you're using data to be able to make informed choices. And you're putting out bad data as if that's a good way to make an informed decision and choice. It's like a bunch of reviewers got together, and like, we looked at only the Amazon reviews, and so these people are right. And I'm like, that doesn't make any real sense. Like, you can get really kind of some of it, but like, right, yeah, it's not every, it's what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, that's a bad analogy. It seems like it is. But they never knew the product. You didn't let me finish, basically. Like, this seems like it'll be a good product. I got the product and you sight unseen this shit. You didn't look at it at all. You just went off of that. And it's like, yeah, and it seemed, and you cherry picked. They cherry picked the reviews to make it seem like it's always good. And they're good stuff. And it's like, that's the statistical analysis you're bringing to the table. I'm the reviewer that's going to look at these reviews that are cherry picked by the people that are trying to sell you the product. And then you bought the product, sight unseen, didn't know what the product even was, and you got a piece of garbage shit product. And then you wonder why the results are what they are. It's a great analogy, actually. It's like, you're stupid, and I'm calling you stupid because you're being stupid. I wouldn't sugarcoat that with anyone. Like, hey, you're about to touch an electrified fence that has razor blades all around it. Don't do that. Ah! Why is my hand bleeding and I got shot? Fucking hate you. You stupid, stupid bitch. I told you. You fucking retarded ass bitch. What the fuck? Let's go get bandages for this. This is gonna have to heal for a really long time. Fucking dumbass. My hand hurts. Let that be a lesson to not fucking, like, completely disregard my warnings. Just because you're like, no, I know what's best for me. You damn child. It's funny, because it is funny. Because that's basically what I view you as. You're a bunch of children that want to go, no, I'm oppositionally defiant and I'm unique and hipster and I know what I'm talking about because my tribe is smarter than yours. And it's funny because, like, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm literally like, hey, this is an actual thing that you should take into account. You should do that. You should really be looking at those studies that you're trying to shove into our faces, which might not even be based upon good fucking data input in the first place and could be cherry picked for all you know. And I'm like, I just described this in the past when it came down to, like, hey, remember that, like, this is a thing that you have to deal with the medical fields and, like, medicine and, like, government and more. So it's like one more reason why you just wouldn't be a good fit for believing the right things. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, so I know you want to be right here with us in the same mental space, but there's reasons why we believe these things, and we don't go along with what you believe. And it's based upon a significant amount of work and learning to get to this point. And you're not going to immediately just step in and be in the same page. You wouldn't expect a fucking second grader to be like, quantum physics, this is easy. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't. But they'll be like, no, that's the same thing with sex. I'm like, oh my God. So say, it's quantum physics, sex is quantum physics. You don't know the amount of emotional damage. I'm like, okay. It seems as though you have become triggered by someone you view as a threat to someone else or yourself and their possible good life upbringing. That's okay. That's normal. That's valid. That's okay. You're not wrong. Like, it's normal to be upset and afraid. That's normal. But you don't let fear overwhelm the choices you make. Right? Yeah, think about this. It's coming from a person that's been molested and raped. So I'm going to move off on that one. I've had to do my own thinking on this. Now, hold your horses. Emotionally, everyone is going to go through dates and bad significant others until they learn how to understand they are worth more than
of trauma and negativity. Okay? Now, I'm not saying in any way that they need to learn like that. You can teach them, as I was saying in my previous one, about this, and then even set up scenarios where they act it out in class, not just, yeah, this is a thing and we wrote a paper about it. They actually act it out, and they actually act out the scenarios that might end up causing someone to have these mental health issues. And emotionally, others can come along and be able to support them if someone is that bad, which there's going to be few of because they've done this work. So your fear, valid. Emotions are valid. Absolutely. But you're not looking at the logical nature of this and the reasonableness of what I'm proposing. You're not. Which is a problem. Your emotions, while valid, do not change that's what you're going to see. We see that with someone learning math. We see that with someone learning English. We see that with someone learning the scientific method. We see that with it all. Emotional intelligence is something we can learn. Communication is something we can learn. And so too, how to process our emotions is something I was able to learn as an adult. And I don't even have the same level of plasticity that a child's brain does, that's so good at soaking up information and learning and thinking about it and using it on a daily basis. It's like, that's gaslighting. No, I'm not gaslighting you. That's not calling you crazy. I'm not calling you crazy. You're valid to have those fears, but you're not thinking logically about it, which is the thing. That's not gaslighting. If you think you're not thinking logically about it, then you're someone that a teacher would probably look at as a problem student, because 2 plus 2 doesn't always equal 4 is what you would say, and then you'd be a very annoyed teacher. You'd be like, what? What? No! 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 That's not how that works. And it's like, you're gaslighting me! You're gaslighting me! You're gaslighting me! I'm being an insufferable bitch! Which they don't like those terms, I know, because I'm not trying to be nice to them. I'm not coddling them. This is my own journal, and you listen to it, you don't have to. So you stepped into a place where it's not going to be your safe, nice, cuddly place where everybody talks well to each other. It's just not going to be that place. That's not what that is. But that's what you're getting from people that are actually aware of how this is something we have actual proof, scientific proof, that they can learn these things at an early age. There are quite a few studies on that. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. If you wanted to look, you can find them. Which is a thing. Yeah. So you have to deal with that. So it's like you're not being gaslit, you're just wrong. Which they use the term incorrect. And like your head's in the right place, but you're incorrect, and I'm going to sugarcoat this and spoon feed you. This is what I call that. Because it's like, hey, no, I'm the fucking teacher here in your college course, and like, this is just a wrong fucking question that you answered. It's just wrong. You can debate and yell and scream all you want, but like, you put down the wrong answer. It's just wrong. And that's the problem I have with it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, no, I can listen to you constantly, but like, I'm validating someone's excuse for like why they got something wrong, and like, I don't need in any way to listen to it, you know? So I'm like wasting my time, effort, and energy keeping you around, basically, and coddling your mind and your thoughts and stuff, when you could really just do this as self-work and also work with your therapist to realizing why you might not have had the correct perspective. And you didn't need to become defensive and angry enough to scream and yell and rant about it for hours on end about what you got wrong. It's not wrong! I'm like, well, no, you're wrong. Every time I like this, because it's like, well, no, actually, like, that's psychologically what we see. That's genuinely, like, we have other countries' examples that validate this. We have, like, other studies that validate this. This is the right answer, and you are the wrong answer. Your answer is wrong. That's how that works. But there is no right answer. No, that's not true. We just like to say that because it's complicated, and I feel icky if I have to change my ideas and thoughts and actions towards others, man. And there's no reason to think that any religion is right, and there's no reason to think any non-religion is right, and then blah, 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 blah. You all sound the same again. Every time I hear that, I'm like, there is wrong, you bitch. You're wrong. You are wrong. But it's like, you see the anger it induces, and they know they wanted that reaction. See? He's crazy. He's acting like this. He's belittling me and bullying me and gaslighting me and everything's bad, and I'm definitely right, and he's just trying to oppress me. And I'm like, that's not really how that works. But then people actually do get manipulated into believing that. That's why I don't like the narcissists and the sociopaths, because they know they can do that, and they know they can be like, oh, I was hurt like that too once, and here, let me look, oh, I believe in you, and oh, you're right, they were so bad, with these out of context clips and everything. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, wow, yeah, that works really often, and especially in the media, and especially with how fast news cycles are. You know, oh my God, people just get, this is what's been put out there. I'm like, where's all the other angles? What was the context before? What's this? What's that? You know, it's one of the reasons why I'm also like, yeah, I can see why somebody would shoot up a whole bunch of shit. You know, the world's kind of falling apart around them. Everything's terrible. They've been abused most of their life, probably. They have mental health issues. It was easy for them to get a gun, and there's no real easy way for them to actually get the fuck out of that negative situation. And they know it's pretty much hopeless for them to live in a comfortable way and actually get help with therapy and everything else. And it doesn't even help as much as you want it to. So I could see why somebody boils over the edge, but they don't want to talk about any of the actual reasonable things that altered a person to such a degree they felt that violence was their last resort. So I can feel them on that. You know, I can see why someone might get that fucking crazy. You know, like, oh my God, the whole fucking thing, boom, 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 fuck you, boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing. People get angry, man. You don't blow up. You don't know how to treat your emotions. You don't know how to emotionally process. You don't have a way to escape. You don't have a way to get rid of your negativity problem situations. Yeah, you're gonna fucking, like, have issues. You know? Like, that's, you see that constantly. Some people choose suicide. They're just another part of that coin. It's like, Hey, flip the coin, suicide or mass murder. Which one is it gonna be? Because you've seen it for fucking a long ass time since guns were basically around. Murder suicides are a thing. You know, you've seen that consistently. It's just part of the bell curve. Which way are you gonna lean? You know what I mean? And so, whenever I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, no, I can see that. But they don't want to address in politics the real reasons for why someone managed to get to that point. Because those are hard and difficult, and we don't want to change that, and we don't want to accept all these other people that are lame and bad to us, or that are clearly able to work, or clearly this, or this, blah, 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 wah, 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 wah. All sounding the same to me. They're all sounding the same every single time, and that's why I'm like, you're the same disposition. It's like fucking yeah, fuck off. You know, like you're the same manipulative crap wad that's trying to get a whole bunch of people on their side and saying with their emotions to do what they do with the Republicans by causing immense amounts of fear, and then the resulting law or policy or something, and you were the good person. We need to fight those people. Those coming into our country, we need to go after them. Those with those drugs, that's a reason for us to distinguish ourselves as better than them, and it's valid and justified for us to go after them. You know, anything, just pick a reason. And you're doing the same. And like this person is clearly reasonable and logical enough to know something, and you should check into it. And you're terrified, and that's a thing. And I don't know what to tell you, because it's like they rule the world. Lots of people will be afraid. Pearl clutching is so fucking hard. Like honestly, they're like, you motherfuckers are basically the ones that will tell the fucking masses what to do. You know, with your on-screen personalities or whatever your friend group is going to be. You know what I mean? Like, no, he was wrong, he's this, I need to challenge this and be better. My type A personality can't ever handle actually being maybe a little less than this person, and like it challenges me being better and way better than anyone else. And it's like, okay. I hate them. Because they're genuinely, that's their justification. That's why I know for a fact they're a narcissist, a sociopath. You know, like they have to create a hierarchy. They have to be better than someone else. They have to do more. They have to, because it's like a literal personality trait of the sociopath narcissist. And that's why I know that they're like that. That's why I know that they're faking it. That's why I know they don't really have any fear of pretending to cry or anything. They can be really good at it. They're almost always good at acting and pretending like they actually have emotions. I fell for one, with my mom, and my two sisters, and my dad. They didn't ever give a shit. And they're smart enough to be like, it was reasonable for us to do this because you don't know how you were acting, you don't know what was going on. And she seemed like she's so nice and all this, and I'm like, right, and a bunch of people, and a group of people that don't know shit about anything that's going on with me, and I have to fucking eat my words constantly because other people are just going to believe them, and they would never believe another person. And that's how this cycle continues. And so it's like, oh yeah, no, this is basically the same as schools, companies, corporations, politics, religion. Where is this not a thing? Where is this not a thing? Let me oh, fucking shit. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. And I can't do anything to change it. And there's nothing I can do. So it's another I'm going to get out there and take down student loans and fucking just get anywhere. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I don't feel like that. I mean, I'm going to go off into that fucking terrible shit hell of a landscape of just the normies, as I like to call them, that don't know anything. And like, that's the only thing you can do. I'm like, no, there's communes, man. I can figure something. I can just run. Just get the fuck out of here. I'm going to another fucking like country where people are probably gonna be the same, but it'll be at least better. I'll have like universal healthcare and stuff. Like fucking no, Bolt, brrr, get the fuck out of here. Brrr, brrr. That's what I'm thinking. You know, it's like, man, God, I'd like to just get the fuck out of here. I'd like to go into commune, you know, I grow my own food. I know how to make enough energy for more than enough of all of the needs that I have. Oh, I need internet. I mean, what for? But sure. You know, for like 911 or something. I don't know. Maybe, you know, because it's like, oh, medical care is good. Like, they have that, they can help you. But it's like, yeah. So it's like, I just want to get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be a part of you. I don't like you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I don't like this thing. Everything about this is garbage. You're shitty, shit of a fucking race of humans. You suck. I want out. I want to go into the stars, make my own fucking shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck you. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Brrr. I'm leaving. I don't care. Fuck you all. Fuck you. Suck it and see what makes you cheer. I don't care about your booze. So it's an old Rick and Morty one. You didn't know. So I've seen what makes you cheer. I don't care. You're lame as fuck. Nothing about you's good. Every time I get to that way. Because it's like, that's what it is. You know? That's what it is. I just want to get the fuck out. But see, nobody really cares. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I don't have enough money. I'm like, well, we all have enough resources. We can do this. We can fucking do this. We can get there are like-minded people. I know there are. Stop trying to gaslight me. Stop gaslighting yourselves. We can do this. We have the capacity. We know what we can do. We can do this. We can get the fuck out. We can find some island or something. We can buy it together and live there and grow our shit and just fucking leave. And say, you're utopian. No, it's not utopian, you bitch. It's just better than yours. Fuck you. Fucking, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is for me. But that's the thing. Oh, I came up with a bomb juice chemical. What? Really? Yeah. So you know octane is a series of carbon with hydrogen around it. And I'm like, I can stick something onto that carbon that attaches to a nitrogen. And I can attach oxygens to those nitrogens. You know, I can stick something on the ends of those hydrogens and put O3, like oxygen, 2 oxygens attached to that. And I only need that one little chemical, one little element, that's in between. And now I have a stable fucking polymer explosive bomb juice. That's extremely strong. It has an incredibly high amount of residual oxygen that will burn itself with its own accelerants. Yay! And it's really strong as a rocket fuel. And I'm like, oh, you created it. Yeah, in my head. Yeah, no, it's not hard to do, honestly. I was like, potassium could be a thing. Because potassium carbide's a thing. We might be able to use silicon. Silicon hydride is a thing. We might be able to use like some of these other metals. You know, we can maybe use this. This is not too difficult. Honestly speaking, it's really not. Shit. Like, we could do that. Brrr, brrr, brrr. Let me get the fuck out of this atmosphere, bitch. I'm never coming back. Brrr. I'll never come back. Ever. Bye. And I mean that. I mean literally ever. I'm gonna go next to Jupiter. Just fucking like, it's like, what about the radiation? If I have the ability to make warping wormhole skin on the inside of my fucking goddamn fusion engine, I can do the same fucking thing for the outside of the fucking rocket. I can do that. Fuck that. Get out of here. I don't need to worry about radiation. You need to worry about radiation. That's, yeah. Listen to the other one! The one before this! Listen to it all! It's in there. But like, if you don't have that, that one's pretty simple actually. Nope. Yeah, so you can capture gases in a field, in electromagnetic fields, if you didn't know. So plasma fields are effectively what I'm like weak plasma fields that travel alongside of us, that are in layers that slow down the oncoming particle and divert it. Pretty simple stuff. And it's been theorized before, like actually, and you only need like very small skin, and you can put it inside, because there are things called cold plasma, if you didn't know. Wait, yeah, there are cold plasma things, and so it's like, oh, right, and that creates its own electromagnetic field if you move it around, and it's like, bingo! That's correct. You have stumbled upon interstellar spacecraft technology. Woo! Yeah! Bitch. I'm animated because I'm doing it on purpose. People don't understand they act this way on purpose. I'm not usually like this. I'm wired, man. I'm gonna get you going. Let's do this. Come on. Motivating speech guy here. Not only can you do this, not only are you great, you are a valid person who deserves love and respect in your life without toxic negativity. You got this. Alright, now take negativity out along with motivating speech guy. He's an old character I've been doing a long time ago. Yeah, he's an old one. You got this, baby! I'm technically its cousin. Called. I don't want to do that one. I'm not really into it. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, you can do this. You can make a basic plasma field, stay in a contained area, and then have one on the outside that sticks around. That's all you need to do. If you've got a fucking fusion engine, I'm like, you've got enough energy. If you got a fucking radioactive, you got enough energy. Get out of here. Like, you have this. Like, you got this. This is easy shit. It's not hard to do this. You just gotta do it. It's like 3 things. You gotta do like 3 things. Make the energy source, make the cold plasma container, make the cold plasma swirl. It's like 3 things. It's just 3 things. What? Well, there's other stuff. Yeah, that's the other stuff. Yeah, between getting those other 3 things done. Deal with it. That's programming. These are the main programming equations and algorithms. They have all these other data sources that you need to do and get all this other stuff. Boom! Hey, this is like the basic, like, I gotta do this for therapy and everything else to get these results. Oh, what do you know? And then the main results are there, and you achieved it. Oh, I got this goal. Oh, I have to do this other stuff. Oh, what do you know? Oh. It's called a plan? Oh, wow, a plan. Oh, I didn't know what those were. Yeah. Surprising. But it turns out it's pretty easy. You know? It is, actually. Yeah. Now we're going to talk about something else. Because I was like, yeah, statistically speaking, they don't really use anything but a 2D graph to use for quantum physics interpretations between the windows of opportunity of things happening. And really, it's a chaos theory mathematics quantum fluid that is a supercritical fluid because it is both a liquid, a gas, and a solid all at once. And they interact in 11th dimensional ways. You see, basic 11th dimensional means this thing over here is doing this vibrating thingy, then it causes these interactions that indirectly connect all the way back to this thing way the fuck over here. And there's different directionalities that they take to have this, do that, and then you go, oh, that's a new novel result. And I'm like, that's basically quantum fluid theory. Pretty much. Yeah. Except it's not. It's combining standard model, quantum fluid theory, quantum thermodynamics, quantum chromodynamics, and string theory. That's right. 11th dimensional string theory. With chaos theory mathematics. So you get your fucking shit. And conversions are where you have your problematic issues with your energies that are not there for some reason. Rounding things off. Not having an infinite stupid fucking end to an infinite fucking stupid standard model crap. Doesn't need to be that way. You're not adding your conversion theories. People might not understand that, but like, you gotta do it. Oh, this thing interacted with this and had this small little bit of quantum fluid interaction. Or field. Quantum fluid, field, whatever, fucking whatever. And this interaction. And these pressure waves do its thing. And all this, that's all conversions that come off of the main interaction. You know, thermodynamics. Oh, you put this thermal over here and it does this thing and it radiates up to all this stuff. It's like, yeah, exactly. There are many different ways for the fucking heat to go away from it. And I'm like, and then there's pressures. Pressures. Woo, pressures, yes. Quantum field. Quantum chaos theory mathematics. Boom! Quantum thermodynamics. And that's all you need, really. Go away, you wouldn't know anything about that. You said you can't do math. I'm like, yeah, no, this just stands to reason as to what it is you're seeing for your puzzle pieces. And like, you know, basically like quantum interactions that are like chemical interactions between atoms. It's basically all I'm seeing here. And it's like, you're not thinking about it in a 3D world, you're thinking about it in a flat 2D dimensional plane. And it's like, there's also 11th dimensional aspects, because this thing can still affect this thing over here, and you don't understand why. Because of course you haven't looked at it in a big fucking way! You're doing the stupid flat man shit! And it's like, that's what I hear from the scientists. You know, it's like, no, you don't know anything that you're talking about. And I'm like, well, it actually is a thing. You know, this is actually a thing, and I'm in that field of science. How did you know about this? Like, depending on who you're talking to, that's what you get. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's basically just me doing the whole, like, imagination. Whoa, it's really powerful for some people that are intelligent and know things and know how to imagine it correctly. Some of you are stuck with your itty-bitty mathematics on a whiteboard. Some of me's are Chad, imagination boy. We can just literally look at it. We can literally just see all of the things in our heads. If we learn about it, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is a thing that's doing its thing. That's a thing. I know what that thing is. Oh, that's what that is in this part? Oh, so someone else also did. Oh, okay. So I was right. I love that one, honestly, because they're like, no, and I'm like, yeah. You don't even know how long it took me to grasp any of these concepts. It took me like 5-10 years, and I still don't even know. And I'm like, what? You can't just Chadliness this with your imagination? You can't? Why? What's wrong? Dummy dumb? Poke, 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 poke. I'm poking you. I'm poking you. I'm trying to make you annoyed. I'm trying to make you annoyed. Is it annoying you? I'm gonna see if you're a good person or like one of those fucking assholes. Well, what are you? I have to calm down. I'm going away. You're a good person, alright. He's testing you. But by the way, they're both valid, honestly speaking. Seriously, they are. Both of them are valid. You need one with the other to be able to get anywhere, really. Truthfully. Like, there's almost always like a team. There's the guy that can see it in his head and the person that knows the math. And it's like, there's the guy that knows the math and can see it in his head. But he's not very adept at either. What about the women? I'm like, same thing. Guy who's neutral. Fuck off. Stop pointlessly gendering names. What are you doing? That's... You're all day names, bitch. You ain't got nothing. Anyways. No, because that's a whole other debate. Nobody likes to talk about this, but like, hey, you know what? Statistically, gender in the sense of a genetic pretense is a bell curve. If you didn't know, it's like XX, XY, XYY, XX, XY, and many other things. And it's a bell curve. And like, there's a certain percentage that's very small, unlikely to happen, and then there's the majority. Kind of like quantum statistical analysis. Oh. Maybe you're fucking retarded and I'm smart. That's poking the bear, by the way. Huh? What are you gonna do? Are they only this? Is that the only way they are? Let me know. How smart are you? That's not what that is. And I'm like, outside of that, for context of biology students, it's irrelevant. You are what you say you are. I don't give a fuck. That's what that is. Not my problem. Not my issue. Go fuck yourself if it's an issue for you. Tell me what your pronouns are and I'll use them. I'll try my best to consistently use them. Otherwise, go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck. Stop bringing your other sciences into my sciences. Go fuck yourself. If you bring many sciences into one, you can create innovations like no other. Take Newton, take Einstein, take many, and you will see it happens with the geniuses of them all. You fucking retards. But don't worry, child, that's just because you're not open-minded enough to get past your hindrance of dumb philosophies. Ooh, anyways. So that's the thing. But yeah, there you go. Be open-minded, you freaky freaks. Fucking weird-ass, closed-minded motherfuckers. How are you so weird? Weirdos. Fucking weird. Oh wait, now I know. There's a bunch of you that basically like weirded out and like got together and continued the weirdness. Got all awkward about things. You didn't talk, you didn't communicate. You were like, nah, I'm gonna be weird and awkward and creepy about stuff. And like we're just gonna form these golden rules and we don't talk about them, about how to interact with each other. It's like, no, society likes these rules. I don't think they're very good rules. It seems to indicate like we have a higher amount of rape and molestation and sexual assault and like generally speaking, worse reactions between each other. Why is it that you're continuing to perpetuate like getting over your fucking anxiety and awkwardness and just talking? Why? Why are you doing this? You know, it's not blunt. It's not autistic to just fucking be direct about what your needs and wants are and expectations are moving forward. But my God, you see that on Reddit? I have an expectation of this woman and this thing. He's a neckbeard incel. I, as a woman, have an expectation of this thing, and I'm like, it's a fucking virgin femcel. And I'm like, both of them are shitty people. I gotta be honest, normally if they're going that fucking hardcore, like you generally put out like, this is roughly what I want. You know, I like submissive. I like, you're pretty cute. I'm like this myself, I'm a dom. I'm, I guess handsome. I want to hang out and see if it works. I do like the skinnier side of things. If you're petite, that's usually what I'm really into, personally. But, results are all over the place on that one. And it's like, well, I don't know if that's, you're fucking, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, right. But like you would read it totally different. Oh my God, he's looking for submissive only this. And we're right. And I'm like, that's not like the tone of voice I used. At all. That's not like how I said that. But apparently 7.8 thousand people fucking said, no, you're fucking... What is it again? Incel. Right, involuntary celibate. I'm like, I'll have you know, I don't fucking really try very hard. It's very voluntary. I don't really try and go on dates or ever look for anyone. It's quite voluntary. Like when I tried, it was like, oh, this was pretty easy to do. It really was. It was like, oh, how's it going? Oh, yeah, really? Oh, hey, you want to... Boom! It's pretty quick. That was like pretty much how it goes. The basic cadence of the date, of the conversations, of all that stuff. But it wasn't a date. It was being homeless at a tent, and like that's kind of a thing. Which means I got more game than you motherfuckers with your big ass goddamn rides and shit. Burr. My one experience that wasn't actually rape or molestation. Woo! But like that's the thing. It's like I'm standoffish. I don't know why I got into this, but I am. I'm standoffish. I'm like, why the fuck would I want to be with you? Like you have got to fucking prove why the hell I want to be with you. That's my genuine like. I don't trust you yet. Like I don't see like what you are. I don't fall for that kind of stuff usually very quickly, and if I do, I'm fucking afraid because I've been hurt a lot in a lot of ways by a lot of people in my life. So let's take this slow. Let's see what this is. And just because I had sex with you doesn't mean I suddenly like you. I'm pretty sure you understand that one. But nobody really seems to. It's like, this is a transaction until it's not for me. That's kind of a problem I have. Like, yeah. It's like, yeah, I don't, like, I want to. I'm trying to. I'm trying to see if, like, you haven't fucking, like, you're not gonna hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, you haven't, like, ooh, was that something I was willing to put up with? Because you know that's gonna appear more. Is that a thing? I'm sussing you out, yeah. It's like, no. You said it's a transaction. I'm like, right, until, like, love happens. You know, that's a thing. But you didn't read between those lines, so I'll be direct. Until I have feelings that are more than just, you're nice to hang out with and it seems like it's pleasant. What we do. It's usually how that is. You know, like, you seem pleasant, you seem like, yeah, okay, I might keep doing this. And like, they don't really understand that part. They're like, no, you're a fucking incel. Yeah. I'm like, no, man, I've just been hurt quite significantly. I have emotional neglect problems, abuse problems, and mental health abuse and neglect problems. It's a problem. And like, I'm not trying to take on something that's going to be a massive negative in my life. So like, same on my side. I'm trying not to be that, you know? That's why I'm like, hey, is everything okay? Hey, is this something that was cool with you? You seem to have these reactions. And my God, do they hate that. They're like, yeah, how the hell are you knowing exactly what the hell I'm thinking? This is creepy as fuck. I'm like, because you acted like this. Because you acted like this and you had these reactions. No, that is not, you were reading too much. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the narcissist suddenly realizes I was watching them. Ooh! Because that's what that is. That's what that is. It's like, oh yeah, no, it was just, oh yeah, oh, I'm so thankful that you were like, you know, hoping that you were doing all this. And it's like, oh yeah, no, I had some of these things that were, and maybe you can act a little, and maybe we can work on this, and, you know, and like, that's the normal person reaction! That is a normal person reaction! You are not a fucking normal person, you are a narcissist. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fucking weirdo. You're a fucking weirdo. I don't want to be around you. Get out of here. How did you know I was acting like that? I'm like, you'd be surprised how similar a lot of you really do act. Like, you're fucking almost the same between other people. Like, you're all within categories of certain abuses and certain, you know, types of triggers and certain this and this and this. And if they dress like this and they have this amount of body type and they have these kinds of personality traits, it's like you're likely to act like this and this and this and this. And these are usually the reasons, which then turns into, I've got you pretty much pegged. It seems like you're acting like this. I just wanted to ask you if, like, something I did when I said this in this moment in time was something that didn't, you know, confirming. That's what that is. You know, typically, if you didn't know, emotionally abused people are really good at that. You know, they pick up on it because they have to deal with people that are gonna fucking scream and yell and make them feel like shit. And my mom's a huge one. I instinctively got better at it. Same thing with my older sister, same thing with my younger sister, same thing with my father. I'm a huge empath. I have huge empathetic emotions. I feel what others feel. And I have to fucking no, I will not feel for you. No! Get out of here. I have sympathy, but fuck you. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to be fucking directed around by the narcissist trying to make me feel a certain thing. Fuck you. My emotions will be kept in check. And you will not have any sway over me. You don't feel anything at all. You're a narcissist. For that, no. That's a, oh my gosh, you got to a very far point in therapy. as a fucking empathetic person. So that way you're not getting manipulated by a bunch of people, and you're extremely emotionally intelligent and extremely fucking intelligent by and large, all the way across the board. Just fucking insane. And it's like, you're a genius, you're gifted. And I'm like, yes, no, I've heard all this before. That's why I fucking know that it's true. I'm not kidding, I've heard this consistently. And it's like, neat. It doesn't change all of this that I'm dealing with at all. And these motherfuckers and a whole bunch of these dumbos are gonna fucking band together and be like, he's fucking retarded, he's bad, I'm not bullying him, and I'm the good one. And the jealousy is so significant. And the fucking insecurities and the type A, I gotta be better. I am the better one. I have a fucking job. I have this, I have that. I am the better. You are not better than me. I'm a good guy. Roar, roar, roar. And I'm like, what? What? Why are you so angry? If you were truly a good person, you wouldn't be angry like that. But now they know about that. You see, now if they know about that and how they're acting, how it's perceived, then they're like, oh, all of a sudden the sociopath that's dumb is going to learn a little more how to manipulate people and know when to pick and choose the battle. And they get cheat codes. That's why it's always dangerous. They'll look like they're pretending to be a good person. And then they'll actually pretend to be a good person, and then they'll let it out, like my mom does when nobody's around. Like, oh yeah, no. And then she gets me alone in my room. Boom, 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 boom. You know what? I knew you thought like that. Yeah. The fuck? It's like the real one comes out. You know, not the fake one, the real one, when they're alone. And it's like, you should record. I should record all the time, every day. She knows when I'm recording, too. I don't have enough recording space, bitch. Why don't you get out of here? Get. But that's one of the reasons why I'm like, oh yeah, no, if you're genuinely afraid of that shit, always have cameras in your fucking house, your car, recording devices everywhere, and constantly keep it. Scrubbing the old data, doing the new ones. Because you'll catch them real hard. Don't tell them about jack shit. And you'll see the real truth come out. You'll see how they're trying to gaslight you. You see a lot of shit, and then, you know what? No, I still think she was in the right, because you should have done this, and she's your mother, and that's how you... Oh, God. Yep. And that's the thing. That's a genuine thing. But then I was like, pyrolysis. Pyrolysis. Do you know what this is? You heat up polyethylene polymers that are like milk jugs and shit, and you get gasoline, diesel, and like burnable gas and shit. Yeah, if you didn't know, that's a thing. So it's like, hey, but guess what? The Department of Energy is using pressure and water as a catalyst to increase how much pyrolysis is able to do with less energy. Which makes it far more viable, and you get lots of octanes. Octanes with lots of nitrogens and oxygens. And this seems interesting. I can make my bomb juice. I've got potassiums here. I've got calciums here. I can use those things to connect to, yeah. I can make my bomb juice. And then I was like, yeah, but it's not the same as diesel. I was like, right, all I need is a small percentage in the diesel. That's all I need. Small percentage. It'll still burn. It has lots. It's small, like 0.01%, and it drastically increases the amount of results of burning for diesel because it provides oxygen around the sooty, ducted airflow fuel and oil, and so then it's gonna burn because it increases heat, increases pressure, increases burn because there's oxygen there, and you got it. You got it, people. You got it. Why don't we do this? I'm like, well, we actually are. The Department of Energy is funding research in this. But not so much that octane bomb juice. They don't really want to give people the ability to make a literal bomb. It's a fuel, an oxidizer, accelerant agent, and a chemical that is also highly sprung together in a fairly stable, but relatively not as stable as like you would probably want. Which means it releases a lot of energy, which is a chemical thing. But that's the thing. Like, boom! I got all this compression I can do. Look at it. It's an octane. It's an octane. Which is really high. Yeah, they measure fuel and how much compression you can put into it before it has knock in octane levels. So it's an actual chemical that is octane. It's called octane. And it basically it'll break down and cause its own amount of energy to go off. So it's like a better diesel, you know? And so it's like, oh, put in some oil, mix it around, and whee! I got superpower! Super powerful gasolina. Gasolina. Actually, it's diesel, but you know, whatever. You know, truly. But that's really great. You know, honestly speaking, it's really great. I switched it because the other thing is, it's terrifying. People don't like examining their bad behavior. They definitely don't like examining what caused bad behavior, and those people definitely don't want to take blame in any way. And it's a never-ending shit fest. So that's why therapists are usually always tired and sad, because people don't want to do the work or ever examine themselves. And they're usually nothing like what I am. And so, like, when they come around and they're like, oh, my therapist is damn stupid. Like, they're really stupid. I'm sorry. But I've learned that I need actually a little bit more, you know, technique. Is there something more? No. And then, like, they get upset that, like, they're not doing at least a little bit of work or something like this. My therapist kicked me out because, like, I was like, oh, can you write an email to my case manager since we're in the same building and, you know, you're talking about this low-income housing, so I don't forget, and we don't forget to make an appointment. No, you need to call herself. I'm like, this is a part of your job. Like, why the fuck? This is literally a part, like, it wouldn't take, and it's rude of me to, like, call them right now, you know, and, like, I can call them later, but what the fuck? Why couldn't you just, you could leave a post-it note, we're in the same building, in her fucking room. Like, this is insane. She kicks me out. I haven't had a fucking therapist call me in, like, the last 3 fucking weeks for, like, a new therapist. Because I'm like, I'm not going with this one. No, she kicked me out for, like, fucking nothing. I'm not going back there. And she wasn't very bright bulb, truthfully speaking, trying to defend a lot of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but this is also devil's advocacy. Here's something that you can do, and this is also another thing, and this is another way to look at it. And she broke. She broke by the end of her first therapy session. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she got angry and pissed at me. Yeah. Like the next time we saw, like for the snap, I'm angry, you know, like immediately doing a small amount of work. You need to step up. Like I've been calling everybody constantly. This is like a small amount of work that you can help me with. And I'm in your office for therapy because I have issues. I'm SMI, and I'm also hard of hearing and don't like calling. You know, like this seems an awful lot like it's on you and you're trying to push off the fact that you didn't want to do work. But then I had my psychiatrist trying to, you know, defend them. But you see, that's litigation and that's mental health treatment problems that because they don't want to do some work because they have their own issues. And they'll pass off the buck. You know, like, it's on you. And I'm like, right. But then it's like others will rush to their defense just in case anything were to come back on them about anything at all. And so, like, they're like, hunker down, I'll defend you even if I don't really feel like that was the right way to do that. And so, that's a whole thing. It is. It's genuinely fucking retarded. but there's nothing you can do, right? Exactly! Exactly that. Exactly that. I can't do anything about it. There's really nothing I can do. Like, actually, though, that's the thing. And you know what? Other people that are also in that mental health field also know about coworkers that are the same, and also know about patients that are absolutely given a raw deal. Because it's like, you're intelligent, you're this, you're gifted, you're, oh my God. And it's like, then you meet the other people, they have their own insecurities, they have their own, jealousies, they have their own shit. You seem like you're fully functional, you seem all this stuff, and they don't know shit. In one meeting, And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What? It's great, you should have been doing your own. He was. I am. This is like, because that's someone that's trying to defend, because they've gone through the same problems, and they know that you're a fucking retard for trying to defend that shit. Whew. Fuck. Ow. How did I know that? Because I also have had many people talk to me about similar experiences. You know what I mean? Like, it's genuinely just normal stuff. But people are like, it will help you, everything will be fixed, you'll be able to work again. Or like, you should just be like trying to get SSI and low income housing. And I'm like, okay. Okay. Yeah, none of those are utterly garbage to a large extent in terms of ever trying to get in or trying to get them. Oh God. Your mom got them? I'm like, yeah. Apparently they treat women, and especially suicidal people, better. I've tried it like fucking 4 or 5 times. But then I have more, evidence to show that I'm mentally having issues. So maybe it'll go somewhere. But, I'm not the only one. Even people with more evidence that are further schizophrenic, further all these things, it's like, they still don't get it. They still don't get SSI. They still don't get SSDI. They still don't get low-income housing. They still don't. There's a huge gap there. Huge holes in the entirety of it. And, like, people will pray, like narcissists like my mother, I don't think that they're doing enough work for you. They'll prey upon that, like, compassion part and, like, that shit. Because it's like they're trying to be well-meaning, but they actually want to control you and your shit. And so that's the thing you have to watch out for closeted narcissists that aren't overt. And so like, no, she was trying to be well-meaning. My fucking older sister texted me, you didn't come from a place of compassion. You don't even know my fucking mother. You don't even know. You haven't been around here for a very long time. You really haven't had her fucking do some of this shit. Way worse, apparently, than even you had to deal with growing up. And you don't even remember those things that well, because you're 34, 36 now, something like that. Like you don't know anymore. You don't know what she is. Like she still had pretense. She still had like, oh, there are things around. And then you were not able to understand what that was back then when you were that age. And like you still do these same narcissistic behavior traits. And so does my younger sister. And so does my dad. He calls me while I'm at a shelter. Because my mom kicked me out after going to the mental health facility and not telling her. Because like honestly I didn't want to go back home. I was like, fucking, they may have something, maybe. I didn't want to go back. Like it was that terrible. But anyways, she's like, you're not, he calls me in the shelter. And it's like, yeah, your mom's dealing with all these issues. She's having to put up with all this stuff. Like, Andrea's like this, and your mom's doing this. And I'm like, I'm in a shelter! I'm trying to get out. What the fuck are you telling me at all about what this evil bitch did to me? I don't care! I don't give a fuck! What the fuck? Get out of here! But like, no, I have to do the pretense thing, because it's like, oh, well, he's not really angry with us, he's not upsetting us, And you know, I don't think he might be okay now. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing you have to do with the narcissist. You know, play into it. You know, for basic fucking shit, like, oh, you have a roof over your head. While you're trying to get your shit together. Oh, you know, yeah. And like, hey, you know, for the first few months, it was utter hell living with her. God, my God, it was bad. And she comes back and like, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm a good person. As I'm like, I just didn't want to say anything, you know, and like, I was giving her like just space and just not talking to her. Because it's like, I'm locked in this fucking truck with you, and I want to go home. I really want to go home. I don't want to talk. Like, you're fucking, like, going off on me everywhere, going so immature the entire way through. Oh my God, threatening to kick me out again. All this shit. Practically, I like, boom, like, no, we're not going to let that go too far. I'm going to stick my little hand in there before you decide to push that button. You know? Because I know what the conversation needs. I know how this shit goes. I've been dealing with it for fucking years now. I have. I've been dealing with my mother as the primary person that deals with her the vast majority of the time. All the time. Like, my dad was fucking, like, at work for the vast majority of the time she was dealing with. Like, I had to deal with her. My younger sister barely had to talk to her or deal with her. And she's gonna act nice because you guys are this and you haven't talked to me and I want you to, oh. And it's like, nobody fucking thinks about that. And then I'm gonna go along with what you say, and Andrea should have like a say, and like, oh my God, and it's like, I was like staying on the couch for like a couple of weeks before he got, he wouldn't have been homeless, he wouldn't have had all these other things where he got fucking like hurt and shit. It's like, that's a thing. And they're like, no, you're too evil, you're too shitty to be around here. You know what I mean? Like paraphrasing, but like, you're too much to be around us right now. And I'm like, I'm defending myself by like not allowing you to really kind of rile me up and start screaming and yelling. And like, I'm out of this until eventually I broke in the apartment. I'm like, just give me the fucking $500 you said that you were going to give me and get the fuck out, because you're not helping me pack anything. You're constantly telling me about how all this is my fault and that I should have given you more time for any, like, you're just fucking, none of that matters. The fuck are you doing? You were intentionally trying to antagonize me. And they don't care. No, I wasn't. No, that was you. You were doing it to us. And I'm like, gaslight right there. And it's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Nothing. I'm just gonna go fucking like get my last shower. You know, Andrea was super angry that you used your shower for the last time before you decided to leave. Because like you won't have access to a shower for weeks possibly. And you use some of her shampoo and conditioner when you don't have any. Wow, thanks, Andrea. You know, and like my dad's like, yeah, no, you should have thought about that. My mom, yeah, no, you should have, you know, like that was going too much. That was going too far. And my older sister, before I get, yeah, we wouldn't be good roommates, and you know, like it wouldn't be a good. And so, like, you shouldn't come around here. Like, oh, no, I was just cleaning the apartment pretty much all by myself, paying for the apartment, getting my maintenance on the car done myself. I was doing everything that a normal functioning adult does. But you're right, I really shouldn't, because you're a shitwad, and I never would have been able to work with you, because you're a shitty person. Like, that's what that is. And then, like, they proved it the next time, like, before. Like, oh, December 25th, we were gonna fucking, like, talk to you and all this stuff, and like, you know what I managed to do? because I'm like, hey, you know what? I was liking to go because I wanted to help people and all this stuff, working, cannabis, and my mom was all this, and then like I managed to get Andrew to look. This is my older sister's boyfriend. To look into, because he didn't want to be a lawyer for this tech conglomerate that was pretty much just shit at that point, and it still is. But like, I mean, it started off good, but then it was problems. And I'm like, you know what? He's talking about how you need to learn how to, work with people and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this subtly, and you might not know what I'm doing. And I'm like, hey, so this is a canvas. I know that you were saying you want to help people and you want to do this. And here's an option. And like someone's got to eventually kind of step up and do certain things and, work in that. And boom! He's apparently working there. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And it's like, it wasn't that hard to helpfully suggest to someone while I'm also making sure to relate and be a good person as to what my situation is and what it could be in terms of comparing and contrasting to theirs and where I wanted to go in my life, but I didn't have the functionality, but he does. And the seed was planted. But they didn't like that part. Like when I tell people, I'm like, I know how this is going to react. I know how this is going to work. I know how this is going to lead to these things. I know that. And they're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, thanks for gaslighting, but I do. I do. I know how that works. I've seen it over and over. I used to practice and experiment upon the family back in the day. Because it's like, I still need to get this need or thing I need met, and like, I need to learn how to work around them being angry and saying these things and everything else, and I learned how to manipulate narcissists. And then I was like, these are good debating topics. These are hot button topics. Honestly, here's another one, a hot button topic for abortion. I love abortion, because this one's easy. We can raise babies in these plastic bags that are artificial wombs. Did you know this? You can do that. And so it's like, no, I didn't abort it. It's still alive. It's over there in that artificial womb, and now it's the state government's problem, and you have to deal with it with your taxes. Oh, Republican, the life isn't dead. You have to deal with it now, though. It's on your dime. And like, if the guy wants it, then he can have it. And the woman's out of it. That's the thing. All of a sudden, whoa, look at all this. We need to keep abortion coming in from Republicans happening. We don't like this. You got to. And I'm like, I solved abortion. This is really simple. We can just make that a thing. This is against God's plan. And like, this basically means that you're going to have to afford this as a group. And I'm like, yeah, I would probably. Jesus Christ. But like, they don't like that. You know how I know? Because like, people have proposed this idea and it's been shot down before. They're like, oh yeah, they proposed it. They have actually. Because it's like, once you have this, it's like, and this was back in like 2010, somewhere around there. It's in the 2010 area. And it's like, that's where I saw the scientific article. And it's like, yeah, no. And then somebody in, I think, California or somewhere else was like, hey, we could do that. And it was shot down. Boom. And it was like, And it's like, yeah, because this would raise a lot more ethical questions, ? Because foster carers and more need to suddenly get better. We need to start treating people that are abandoned and in mental health care and setting up for the future for the public school systems better than they are currently now. And it would be on your dime. Whew, scary thought. You'd have to actually be good people. And not individualistic, capitalistic swine that just wants as much money as they can possibly have. You fucking fat pigs. But that's the thing. You can make it work. It works with goats, it works with pigs, it works with many things. You can do it. It even worked with monkeys. They've managed to make a monkey live off of it. So like, you can do it, and you've solved abortion. So it's like, no, they're not dying anymore. But we have to raise them together. Okay, I see what you're doing. Hey, what am I doing? Isn't that what you said? It's together as Christians, we raise each other up, right? I feel like I'm hitting hot button topics here that nobody likes to talk about. But see, I already know how they're going to react. It's going to be a no. I already know that why not? This seems like it would work. They would be raised. They could go to a person and be adopted, all this shit. It's fucking fine. I don't want to pay for it. All this. It's an abomination. And you shouldn't allow them to live outside of a mother's womb, blah, 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 blah. This isn't about control over a woman's body. I'm like, I thought it was because you were killing babies. That was your main argument. No. We're no longer killing babies, so what's the problem? I don't know. I'm not supposed to have a problem apparently with this. You're not. Why? Why would you have a problem with this, Democrat? Hey! Yeah, no, why would you? Honestly speaking, tell me. Poking the bear! Tell me. Fuck you. Why do you have a problem? I mean, they would... It's like they're fine, they're raised fine, everything's fine, right? Oh wait, the government's not fine, the culture and society's not fine, but like it took care of all the baby killing problems, and you just need to pay a small fee, percentages of pennies, to be able to keep raising them, because now it's a government thing. But now they're government babies. The government owns them, and they can do whatever the hell they want with them. Right? Or is that not something you thought about? Because that's where I'm like, well, are they government babies while they're still babies to be experimented upon? Or are they just regular people that have full rights and should have everything done to keep them alive and blah 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 blah. But they're like, hey, just keep them alive. Don't experiment upon them. What are you doing? Who said that would be okay? Fucking weirdo. Fucking weird. These people, I swear, they're always weird to me. They really are. But anyways, but that's solving the fucking baby abortion thing, and I can easily make totally self-sufficient, sustainable fucking living arrangements for all the homeless in the world, just in America's land. Honestly speaking, nobody talks about that, but you can absolutely do it. Renewables make total sense. You can keep the batteries, you can raise them up and teach them and educate them and the whole thing. And you can do that with drug users and everything. But we don't want to because they're supposed to die. They should not have rights. They should not get recidivated back into society. You know what I mean? And it's that's a thing, because we can easily make more than enough fucking fuel. We can easily make more than enough fucking food. We can easily make more than enough fucking power. We can easily make more than enough all of the things. Who's footing the bill? Why does there need to be a bill? Honestly speaking, aren't you a kind person that would want to help? Well, are you? No. Well, there you go. Okay, so who's footing the bill? I don't know. Why don't we look at where the taxes are going? And why corporations aren't paying their taxes, and why rich elite people that you owe nothing to are not paying nearly the percentages that poor people are paying for their taxes, even on unrealized gains. Aren't there enough rich people in the world to solve this humanitarian crisis?
Around the world, pretty much, truthfully. Clean water, clean living, able to do a lot of stuff, basic rules. Why not? And it's like, oh, right, because people are evil. They don't care about each other. They're trained to be fucking individualistic, not empathetic, and certainly don't have the time and effort and energy after getting blasted every single day with a bunch of bullcrap that they have to deal with for a bunch of people that don't care about them to be able to do anything at all. And they have to manage their time wisely, as fleeting as it is. So, of course, no, I won't do that. The moment I have barely anything already taken, even a small penny, is ridiculous to me. I'm like, why aren't they paying you enough? Why aren't they? That should be something you don't have to worry about. Why are they not paying you enough? Well, no, that's going to increase the cost of all these other things. But you'd be paid enough to be able to afford that, and you can put caps on that with regulations and laws. But it's not true capitalism. But they would live and die based upon like their actual amount of good product or not good product, based upon a situation and laws and regulations that are making sure that it is less likely for them to fail, much like the 1950s that you so claim were so great. Because we actually had a lot of laws and regulations that helped make a non-risky expenditure of growth happen. So I'm seeing a lot of like silences here, and nobody really likes that, because then it would be basically having to train a whole bunch of dumbass motherfuckers to really actually learn about the world around them and not view it in a black and white, all or nothing, stupid way. That's lots of cognitive dissonance, double standards, and hypocrisies, even over there on the left-wing, left-hand side. Even about sexualities, even about capitalisms, even about socialisms, even about a lot of stuff. And we'd have to alternate our flows my ass. We'd have to literally change the way culture and society currently thinks. Not impossible, we did it, but it took us about 900 years, give or take, from the Middle Ages. So, who wants to run with me? Seriously, fuck this place. I don't want to do any of this anymore. I want out. Fuck this place. I want out. Fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. Like, honestly, why the fuck? I have to fucking become a parent and a therapist and a massive, like, huge big brain person just to get people on my side, and they're still gonna act like children and immature brats and constantly be like, no, we're gonna keep doing this and no one's gonna fight, and they're gonna use gaslighting techniques to fucking continue along a bunch of bullshit, and I have to fucking work on that? No! I don't want to! I want out! I want out of this shit fest. I want out. Fuck this place, I want out. I want out now. Yesterday, fucking right now. Woof. You know what I mean? I want out. I want the fuck out. And you can't get out. Where are you gonna go? Hey, you have to be a special person to go get a working visa, or maybe marry someone across the seas or something. Get like your own nationalized citizenship. You have to pay $2,300 for your American citizenship. You know, I looked into it. I go to Canada. Canada is experiencing its own near recession. It has its own similar issues to America. And truthfully speaking, it's not exactly as easy as you think. They don't really want people to go out of America into Canada, so they don't really like Americans very much. And so it's not actually as easy as you think to become a naturalized citizen.
And so it's like, what are we supposed to do? Fix a bunch of retard children, monkey brain fucking adults? I'm like, it feels that way, yeah. I think they're strong together, and if they all bully someone, and they all think the same way, that makes it right. And I'm like, that's a false applied belief system. That's part of the cognitive behavioral therapy stuff. It's like, because you all think this way, it's like it's right. And it's like, that's not how that works. That's not a thing. Just because a bunch of people say the sky is green doesn't make the sky suddenly green. But that's the thing. And then like magical thinking, the old stuff that never worked will somehow pick up and start working. No, it won't. And it's like, we have to do this? We have to? I'm like, yeah. Until we can get out, yeah. No! 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 Fuck! No! I don't want to do this anymore. I want to leave. I want to go to my own private island where I have like a basically really decent society that isn't maybe utopian, but still far better. I want to go with you. You, John Tyler, Limke, I want to go with you. Oh my God, come with me. You have these basic set of ideals. It's pretty good. We're going to adapt it and change it as we need to make it easy for us to do that. But not too easy, so that way, like, overreacting bullshit like the fucking alcohol amendment thing had to happen. Because scapegoating. And then, I am a person with large amounts of money. I'm going to pour money into getting this amendment changed. And then, like, there's a lot of money in oppressing, homosexual people or pedophiles or black people or anything, There's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of people that are going to self-identify and buy shirts and everything else to make it keep going on and happening. Because I'm a self-identifier as this. Look at this shirt I bought. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks, consumer. Thanks, consumer! You're helping tremendously. You're super nice. Why don't you just talk to someone about it? When they want to be talked to. Why? Why don't you? Just buy a t-shirt now. Buy an electric vehicle because that's going to somehow change the amount of carbon shit that you're dealing with. Oh my God, I hate it. I hate them. They always just expect to buy their way out of everything. I hate America. I hate this place. I want out. Please, somebody hear me. Please, I'll marry your ass. I don't care if I have to be gay. We're not fucking, but I don't care. I swear to fucking God, I'll marry your ass overseas. I will be that person. I will absolutely be that person. But no hits so far. No hits so far. I haven't really been looking, if I'm honest, but yeah, no hits so far. It's funny, but it's like, oh my God, we really are that desperate. Holy shit. People like me that know about this, like people, it's like, we really are that desperate. Like, we all are. It's like, what the fuck? There's gotta be a place that's like, oh yeah, no, there are a couple places. There are a couple socialist places that are actually pretty good, and we can do this. We can do it. We can get this done. Yeah. Switzerland and Sweden are pretty good places. A little cold, but I don't care. I'll take it. Like, I would just get the fuck out of here. I would get out of here so hard, so fast. Like, really, so hard, so fast. But here I am trying to get low-income housing and SMI housing and SSI or a basic job and even have my own transportation. Oh my God. I'm like years, if not decades, from like getting anywhere probably. God. So, great. And then they're like, you need to be thankful for having a roof over your head and not having any blah, 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 blah. I am thankful. I am appreciating it. It doesn't change this. That's still something I'm aware of, and It still sucks. Stop trying to invalidate that. Gaslighting, invalidating prickholes, abusive mental bitches. Fuck you. Hate you. Don't invalidate. Well, it's worse for someone else. That's invalidating your own struggles, your own personal issues. You're doing that. You're invalidating something. You're abusing the shit out of someone intentionally. I'm just more aware than you are. Get over it. I'm tired of this conversation. Because every fucking time it's the same shit. Day in, day out. A bunch of assholes that think they know something and are smart and they're smarmy about it. They don't want to actually fix anything. I have solutions upon solutions upon solutions. And that are actually cost effective, and those that can be built up to cost effectiveness over time, like they did with their fucking oil infrastructure. But they don't care about that. They don't care about reducing poverty. They don't care about it. They like the classism. They like being the narcissist. They like having the hierarchy. They like using all of you. Not a single fucking one of you gave a shit about it. And that's the thing. It's the thing that annoys me, and there's nothing I can do about it. The end! Bye. Bye, 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 bye.